Go ahead and push the recording. Thank you, Juan. So, here we are. We're here at the Arise Together Dojo. Super exciting. It's been a few weeks, so it's like, oh my gosh, it always feels like, a ship at sea, and then we finally come together. So I want to talk just briefly about Arise Together. We're bringing this community together so that we can spark a flame inside of ourselves and take that out to our own communities and to our own lives, to be living more free, to be more loving, to be a part of raising the consciousness of the planet. And so we're doing that through, the connections that we have with each and every person that we have, potentially through dyads that we can, get together and do together, and also with our Arise Together, the community dojos that we've spoken about and will continue to speak about. So we have a few more people that have jumped onto the call. Welcome, super excited that you're here. And so, we're just so few of us. Why don't we just, everyone that is here, just say your name and where you're from, and maybe if you have one little thing that you've really gotten so far. Starting with Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm in Vancouver, and I don't know if you're all looking at the same version of this book that I am, but at the bottom of page 258, I found the most amazing description of importance and its relevance to slides that I thought was fantastic. So that's what I got this week.
Yay! Thank you. Awesome. From Vancouver, Carrie. Jacob, can you please enlighten us?
Hi, my name is Jacob Hardeen. I'm from Abbotsford, British Columbia. Unfortunately, the last couple of months, I haven't really been able to take part in these Zoom meetings, and I'm just hoping to be able to catch up a little bit, and I'll be a little bit quieter in the meeting. Just I'm going to be a fly on the wall here.
Well, that's awesome. We love flies and all different types of organisms. We all play part. Julia, please tell us where you're at and where you're at with the studies so far.
Hey, I'm Julia. I am in Los Angeles, and I am, this isn't from the latest chapter that we've read, but the concept of the pendulum and importance is a lot on my mind these days.
Gotcha. Good. That's a good thing to be keeping on our mind and paying attention to, like a fly on the wall. Very good. Awesome. Tony, are you there? Can you tell us, introduce us to you, maybe what you've gotten so far out of the chapter or the book?
Yes. Okay.
There we are.
I'm in Tennessee. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay.
Can you get closer to the mic?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was surprised to see how importance plays such a role in preventing the balancing forces from taking or pushing away what we want, and so that was, I don't know, that was very interesting to me.
Gotcha. You had some experience of that, Tony?
Well, applying it to other parts of my life has been interesting too, because it also plays a role there, relating to others. When I make something too important, it kind of pushes people away. That is, people respond to that as in, this is you have too much intensity around this. What's the deal?
Yeah. Very good. Thank you for sharing. Mary, please introduce yourself and tell us a little pearl that you've gotten so far.
Hey, I'm Mary, and I'm in San Diego. And what I've been noticing is that and it was in a few chapters ago, but it comes back to me as I, live my life is that the excess, the importance, like Tony was just, and the excess potential, like when that drops away, it just, like life just goes smoother and I just feel more peaceful. And I don't know why, I guess I'm just aware of it and it's like really had an impact on me and it's just dropped away and I notice it and then I'm like, oh, I'm just not gonna, it's not about engaging. I just drop it. Like it's not important.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it can be, but I don't have to attach that energy on it. And it's very, very profound.
It's palatable, isn't it?
It is.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Mo, are you there? Can you introduce yourself? You're muted. I'll give you a moment and I'll go on to Yolanta. Welcome. Good evening, Yolanta. If you could just introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and maybe a little pearl that you've gotten so far studying this time around.
Hello, my name is Yolanta and I am from New Jersey. A little pearl, the real pearl actually is that that the reality transurfing, it's quite simple. I know it's written on like over 800 pages and it's talking about this and that. And I think sometimes, at least I would on occasion get kind of lost, like in all these details and in these methods and that. So my pearl was actually make it as simple as I possibly can, and just to tease out the one, one or maybe actually two things that really are the description of the whole reality transurfing. Is that the first thing is, no, we cannot have whatever we want because of the outer intentions. And the second thing is, in order to have some kind of influence of outer intention, we have to have the unity of the mind and the heart. So if we don't have that, we just cannot transurf. And this is my pearl. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Beautiful. Mo, are you there now? Oh, very good. Yay. Yay. Introduce yourself, please.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. I am down here in South Australia. I have no idea what this group's about, other than it's an organization and a community started by Satyen and Suzanne, who I know from another community. I'm curious what you guys are up to. I don't know what the book is, and I don't know what the work is that you're doing here.
Well,
I didn't know whether Satyen will be leading this session or whether he's part of these regular calls and how it is. Also, I just have to say I was on mute and off camera because I know I'm going to get interrupted a couple of times and I didn't want to be a distraction. So sorry, go ahead.
no worries at all. Well, welcome. Great. Is this your very first time then, Mo? Beautiful.
It's my first time joining one of these community calls, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we meet the second and the fourth Thursday of every single month. Of course, we've got some things here and there with Thanksgiving, but this week we have Jim Juan, who is leading chapter 8 in our book that we're studying, and it's a great chapter that's going to unveil a lot of tips on how to manifest. And really, there's a lot of pieces from before, but you can playing catch up actually, because we're not meeting for a month, and all of these are actually archived in YouTube. Yeah, in the YouTube archive. So I'll give you that and you can catch up in the meantime, but it'll be nice and juicy and alive, and hopefully from the communication and conversation that we have tonight, and any questions that come up, that you're that much more ahead in that answer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. And really what we're really doing here is we're rising together. We are rising humanity together. So through these particular tools that we're studying this time, and each and every time coming back and watering at the well together and being together arm in arm, really supporting one another in whatever it is that we're leading in life. So
fantastic.
And
Terisa,
I'm going to hand it over to Jim, and he will support us in moving this ahead.
Yahoo! Well, and again, I'll offer my welcome also, Mo, and maybe just to lean on you just a little bit. I had very privileged to live in your country for about 14, 15 months in Victoria, and actually we're working. I just finished. Juan is one of the senior trainers that studying directly under Satyen, and Terisa and I have studied, under Satyen as well, but not for the same length of time that Juan has. Satyen does join us on occasion, but ultimately he's kind of handed this off to his senior trainers, Juan and Linda, to lead primarily. I'm intrigued, and I'm interested in understanding, in South Australia, where were you exposed to Satyen and Suzanne? How does the connection, what's the background to the connection?
Sure. Well, I'm originally from London, as you may have picked up. I've been here about 10 years. My connection with Satyen and Suzanne is through David Data's work.
All right.
So many years ago, I heard Satyen being mentioned many times through David's recordings that I came upon 2005. I only actually met Satyen last year, 2018, in fact, when we went to support David in Colorado, and Satyen came as one of the leaders there as part of the leadership team. So I met Satyen and Suzanne then. We spent a little time in Colorado. It was a great time. But essentially through David Data's work, which I've been studying for 15 years or so.
Yeah.
With my partner Lisa as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so just perhaps for your own edification, this is the book that we're working with at the moment, Reality Transurfing. This particular edition, which you can find easily through Amazon, or you can in the chat, when I'm finished offering a little bit of info on this week's chapter, I can put a link in there where you can find it and download it for free, actually on an online library as well. And it's one of the major works that Satyen uses as he's undergoing, offering up his own views and his training for all of us. So we've been at it for a bit. The chapter, and the beauty of this week, is rather than just spew a bunch, we're a small enough group that it's really, a great opportunity to have some exchanges and have some dialogue amongst ourselves, as well as we're stepping through some of the concepts. This week's chapter is dealing with slides. It's the first of the chapters where I really start to get into the concepts around manifestation. How do we, it's all great and wonderful to be learned, but how exactly do we make this happen? I mean, how do we manifest a reality that of our own choosing, rather than all of this stuff that's happening to us and so on? So, he talks about, a lot of the issues around illusions. First of all, it's one of the concepts to place the board and says, in the space of variations, the premise is that every possible reality exists in the space of variations. And, we, through the manner in which we're, birthed and taught through our early lives and imprinted and programmed and taught, through all the various ethnic backgrounds and religious backgrounds and all of the various formations that happen. Clearly there's a suite of filters and imprints that are embedded within us, and they absolutely impact the way we see the world. The way we perceive reality is coming in through those filters, and we build our images of it. He speaks about the potential, even the consideration of the fact that, some of the folks that we might consider to be, mentally challenged or whatever, that always seem, in a different place, are simply aware of and choosing a reality that's more of their own liking. They just don't quite enjoy the one that, perhaps we share a lot of bits and pieces of, and they've just selected their own reality, and they're they're hanging out in a way that's completely satisfying to them. And it's our perceptions that are saying that they're not hanging out in our reality, and that's where the challenges come from. So the whole concept in this particular chapter is around a concept called slides. And so, we, through those filters, through those imprints, we create, a vision of the world that we live in, that he refers to as a slide. And oftentimes, most often, that slide is completely impacted by, our own imprints, as I said a while ago, and they're also deeply impacted by the importance that we place on ourselves and that we place on everything that's going on around us. And so the whole, one of the major premises out of this piece, again, is all around that whole concept of importance. And Carrie, love to hear you chime in based on what you read and heard, from the page that you mentioned a few minutes ago. So what does importance do? Where does it play out?
Do you want me to read the example that resonated so much?
Yeah, sure. Or in your own words.
Oh, in my own words. Okay, he was talking about how you imagine what you want, you dream about what you want, but then you just make it ordinary so that you don't put too much importance on it, as though it's just yours and you just be in it and not go, oh my God, I'm going to have this and it's going to be fantastic. It's like, yes, so I live in this fabulous mansion and I wander around and I, have all these great things, and that's just my life. So when you were visualizing, it was for me, it just really brought home that whole idea of importance that can sometimes be a little difficult for me to grasp. And it just brought it to a place that was so clear. It's like, yeah, I just have everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, and there in that beautiful little nugget, lies the heart and soul of some major messages that are here throughout slides. Because you ever walk into a room sometimes and, we walk into that room and we're kind of going, everybody's looking at me. Everybody thinks I'm dressed funny. Oh my God. Nobody in this room likes me. We had all these voices going on in our head, and it's those negative impressions or the filters and that voice that's firing off that attributes importance to our, to me. I attribute too much importance to myself in this slide in terms of what people are and how people are perceiving me, when in reality, the odds are about 99.9% they could actually care less whether I was even in the room. And so we attribute this importance to things, and we start to make up these stories within our own minds that become that form that slide that has a negative connotation to it, perhaps, that really starts to impact then, the way we project ourselves in the room, or in life. And we talked, I think Yolanda mentioned that, when we hold those inner beliefs, that inner energy, that we start just through the natural processes of transurfing to be guided towards towards a sector where that reality is true. And so by holding, those negative impressions in that slide, by creating those stories in our minds through the various filters and imprints, we're actually, guiding ourselves towards a reality that's going to make that come true. A reality within which, in fact, those beliefs are true. And so the really important thing to recognize through a lot of this is that as conscious beings with choice, if we recognize slides for what they are, we can absolutely just choose to create a positive slide. We can create a voice inside that says, hey, I'm actually a pretty good guy. I can have anything I want. I'm actually worthy of everything that is possible in this reality. And I can choose that. And how do I create a slide that projects those beliefs, that holds those beliefs to be true? How do I act then within the concept of transurfing in order to guide myself towards a reality within which all of those things are true? I am totally worthy. I can have no matter what I want. These things just start to manifest themselves and show up in our lives. And it's really, in line with this premise, no more difficult than that. So again, we come back to the difference, and Yolanta did say this about the unity of heart, mind, and soul. And so if I'm on a negative slide and I'm listening to that negative voice all the time about my inadequacies and my challenges and the fact that, I'm not worthy and it's never going to happen. And that's what occurs, is that, my soul starts to believe that voice, because as we've seen in some of the other chapters, our mind and our soul are when they're aligned, that's what takes us to the places that we want to go. The difference from the soul does not know the difference between imagination and reality. And so if I keep peppering myself with all these negative voices and all these negative potentials and all of these, terrible outcomes that can occur, my soul doesn't know that that's just some voice nattering away. It takes it to be truth. It takes it to be reality, because it doesn't hold beliefs. It doesn't do imagination. It knows. It only deals in facts. And so that's a really important distinction for us to hoist aboard, in terms of saying, look, if I hang out with that negative voice for far too long, I actually do begin to hold that. It becomes knowledge in my soul, not just a nattery voice that's peppering away at me all the time. And so the invitation throughout this is to choose a positive slide, to consciously create a positive slide that just says, I am a conscious being with choice. I'm perfect in this creation. I'm entitled to everything that I could possibly ever want, everything I could ever move to, and to infuse those positive beliefs throughout my psyche, and to create heart-mind unity with that knowledge. And he distinguishes between beliefs and knowledge as he talks about it in a few instances. Where he's like, beliefs are a belief is a concept that we hold to be true that we haven't necessarily proved factually. Whereas something that we truly know, that's proven by way of fact, is irrefutable, based on the facts and the proofs that we have. That's what our soul deals with. And so when we align our imagination and our thinking and the creation of positive slides, that's where our soul goes, and we can create heart, mind, soul unity by choosing those positive slides. And that's what's going to take us there. So, throughout the back end of the chapter, then he talks about that's all good. So how do I actually start now? How do I start to make that happen? So he discusses visualization and talks about, the three ways in which we kind of visualize goals or visualize these realities, some of the things we might wish to have. So there's kind of the old daydreamer that just sort of hangs out and comes up with, thoughts and premises from time to time. There's, some of us can create a motion picture in our minds in terms of what that looks like. And, the final and actually the most powerful way to go about creating positive slides and manifesting reality into that positive state that you want is through experience. And that's where now we start to talk about some of the deeper principles of accelerated evolution, where, if I'm going to truly experience it, I need to make it as real as possible. I need to live it. I need to see it and have it play out as if I'm in that picture. I see it. I think I have the absolute image of it. I have the absolute thoughts that I would think with that goal being 100% achieved. I have the emotions, everything that's going on is fully tagged in that regard, in the body sensations. And so by invoking all of those elements, that's what renders that imagination, that positive slide, to be as absolutely realistic as possible. That's how, with that intensity and that that detailed creation of the slide and living of the goal and the reality that we want in our lives, that's what creates the knowledge in our soul of that reality being true. And that's what starts to align the heart, mind, soul reality and guides us towards the sector in the space of variations where it is true. I mean, of course it's true. I mean, why it wouldn't be anything other than that, because that's where and how it should be. So that's, in a nutshell, really, where and how he talks about it. Just sometimes, we'll hold it a goal for ourselves, or we want to create a reality that's quite complex. It could be the end of a lifetime or the end of a successful career or whatever is in play. And, it talks about importance, and again, and being cautious not to place too much importance right on the goal and the way that's to be achieved. So he talks about the transfer chain is another concept that he speaks to. And so rather than focusing on the goal, rather than focusing on the end game, right at the end of it all, says focus on the process, these intermediate steps. Create the visualization of that goal being 100% manifest, as we talked about already. He said, and then just let it go. Like, drop the importance on that goal. Drop the importance on it. Just know that it's going to manifest itself in the reality that we're being guided towards. And what's important now then is to work on the transfer chain, to work on the process that needs to be completed in order to achieve that goal. And so over time, then, and focusing on the transfer chain with the full knowledge that that goal is already real, it's just out there waiting for me, it's coming my way. All I need to do now is work on these, the elements of this transfer chain in order to get there. I've lowered importance on the goal. I speak to myself and know myself in a positive manner that has set all of those negative vibes aside, because I am manifesting the most incredible reality beyond what I could imagine, because it's what I know to be true. So in a nutshell, that's kind of the premises that he talks about through this chapter, and love to take any questions or any thoughts that popped as we talked our way through it, and of course rely on Juan and Terisa to fill in any gaps that I might have left you with. What's popping? Hi, Julia.
I'm and I didn't finish the entire chapter, so the answer may actually be in there, but I am curious about like the level of granularity for focusing on the transfer chain. Because I know when we were talking about intention, we were like, don't think about how it's going to get there if you're looking at outer intention. So I would love your insight in sort of untangling that and making sure I understand, like, when we're talking about the intermediary steps, what exactly does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a little more opinion than related, because he doesn't talk about great granularity in terms of the processes in the transfer chain. But I think what I'd say is it's just a matter of saying, look, if here's the goal at the end game, you lay out logic train a reasonable pathway to what that goal is going to look like, and then just knock them off one at a time, and have, I would suggest, and I would undergo the same quality of visualization about each one of those steps. And so to a degree, you've infused yourself with the knowledge of the goal already being achieved. You've lowered the importance on it and set it aside. And now I'm just going to focus on these steps that I know take me towards that goal. And what he did say also is that, even if you're not so certain about exactly what the steps should be, just continue to hold that knowledge firm about the fact that that goal is already achieved and you are on your way to a sector in which it exists, that the goal itself will guide you towards the steps in the transfer chain that need to be accomplished in order to see it all come to pass. Juan, what else can you add?
Well, thank you. I think that's pretty clear. But Julia, why don't we just make it practical? What's the goal? And let's figure out, we all can come up with some design and application of all these concepts. So what's the goal that you have? And let's just bring all this stuff down to practice for all of us.
All right, cool. What is a goal? Okay, let's say the goal of feeling really great in my body.
Feeling really great in your body. Okay. So do you have any clue of what that is?
What the intermediary steps might be?
Maybe. Well, actually, there's an ultimate goal, and the question is, are there steps to achieve to get there normally?
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
So,
yeah. I mean, I would say like eating great food that's delicious, having space in which to dance, having like a certain number of hours every day that I spend doing, fun things that feel great with my body.
Yeah. Those look like actions to take, right? To achieve that goal. It sounds correct. Everybody, please make sure you participate. But in general, it sounds like the goal of feeling good in your body could be something like that. This is a perfect setting for a slide, potentially fairly straightforward. Potentially, well, we can argue that as Jim was saying, but the first step, as this chapter talks about, is practice the embodiment of that feeling as being already achieved. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So can you experience that fully in your body right now?
Oh, like go in and do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember that what he reminds us is to be there, feel it. In this case, feel your body, fully. See the images that you see as you're experiencing, you're feeling great in your body, right? Mm-hmm. The emotions that arise as you're experiencing your body fully. And the thoughts that brings into your awareness. And again, the rest of us, if you guys have a goal, ladies, if you have a goal, just use the opportunity to connect with that goal and then just be there fully, play with this. And whatever the goal is, one of the reminders is not just money, right? Is the experience fully achieve or whatever it is that the money is for example. So be mindful on what you choose. I think Julia's idea is fantastic goal, okay? Because you can certainly experience it fully.
So like it sounds like if my goal were to have like $2 million in my bank account or something, then I would be looking at the subjective feeling that I would get from that, the subjective experiences.
Yeah, usually the idea with that type of goal. Yours right now, like one that we used to mention before, is a very powerful goal. Let's stay with that one for now, then we'll talk about 2 million. The practice, the idea is to just make sure that you spend some time with some frequency, persevere, right? He tells us, on feeling this goal fully achieved. You already have that experience on you. Okay, it's already done. You enjoy it, you feel it, you know what it is, but you must see it, you must feel it, you must feel it in your body. You see yourself dancing, you see yourself eating healthy, you see all these things that arise. Actually, as you experience, let me back up a little bit. As you feel your body amazingly, as you feel the joy of your body, from that feeling, as fully realized, that will tell you the steps that you need to take. Because it's different for everybody. From that place of embodying your experience of yourself, feeling great in your body, for you, knowing all done, how your body looks, how it feels, you already know what you did to be there. That will tell you, if you from there go back and say, oh, what did I do? From this place, my goal fully achieved and realized as I know it is. What did I do? Yeah, I know. I did this, I did this, I did this. Nobody else could tell you the best way, but from this place. You let it speak to you and will tell you those steps. Okay? Yeah, probably it'll be this and this and this and this. Because everybody tells, oh, do this, do that. Well, it doesn't work for everybody. But once you operate from the place of that goal fully achieved, that will work. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you so much for that embodied exercise. Nice.
Mary, what goal do you have? One that you can share with us. $2 million sounds good.
Yeah, there's probably a few. So as Julia was talking, so one goal that I have, and I know that I already am, and I've been saying it for years, but so I'm an artist, and not in the traditional way, but so I want to sit in the embodiment of it to get clarity on the steps that I need to take to get me to my medium of being an artist. Does that make sense?
Okay. So you know what it is, right, that you want to achieve?
Well, no, not really.
Do you have an idea, a sense of what that is?
Yeah.
So my invitation again is close your eyes and start working on the closest to what that is. Do you have a hint of an idea what that could be? This, one of the practices, by the way, it tells us in the chapter, right, is the more you dare to feel whatever it is that you want, the more you start expanding your comfort zone. Because there's something called common sense that limits us. Oh, yes. Come on, I'm a man. How could I enjoy my breast or whatever else, because, or something that I'm not supposed to because I am this or that, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in your case, I don't know if you said, I'm not the artist or whatever, and there's like something that holds you from just getting there. So that reminds me of the expanding the comfort zone. So my invitation for you is to say, yeah, maybe I haven't thought or felt into this for now, and embody that for now, since you don't know exactly what it is. To say, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's what could be something that you don't know what it is, but what could be something that it
could be. Well, I like to work with nature. So I like to work with wood and bark and actually herbs and plants and stones. And so kind of, but it's interesting because, and I say, I've always said I was an artist, but so I grew up, my mother's a really good artist, a painter, and my sister's an excellent artist as in drawing. But like, I don't have I haven't developed those capabilities. I mean, literally my sister was like born to like, she could do my portrait when she was like 10, but I've always felt like I was an artist, but I just have not found even though I like, plants really, like people tell me an artist with my plants, growing them or, designing them, whatever, drawing them or whatever. And so it's just a totally different medium, but I feel like inside me, there's a creation of something to be born. And I know this. And so, and part of my journey is finding this book club to read this book to go on.
Yeah. It's interesting because even as one of the things that I didn't touch upon, but it's that voice inside, right? It's the negative slide to a degree that's saying they have those tremendous skills that I don't have.
Well,
and there's an element of that he talks about called projection. And it's like, you know what? Those skills, because we're all born with infinite potential.
true.
And that's the beauty of it, right? And so those skills are absolutely within you. Maybe they're latent at this point, but the fact that you see them in others means that they're absolutely present within you.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, it's been so long. I mean, it's been like, 50 years. So I could say easily, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, but I still draw, I still drew and and I was okay, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it like they did, like painting didn't really speak to me. So now I'm like over that, and I can appreciate them for what they have. But I don't think I want to go that route. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel comfortable on my own.
Imagine for a moment that you close your eyes and just absolutely embrace the visualization of working, with all those different types of mediums that bring joy to your soul. Yeah. And see that, like beyond, imagine everything that could be.
Yeah.
As the end of the journey. And then you start to unpack that a little bit and say, well, if this is going to happen, then I really need to get good at harvesting the bark, or what types of bark are best for, or, and what are the stages that you're going to visualize as you move towards that. And in that transfer chain that is, the various steps, you apply that same quality of visualization around just having it 100% like you got it. Make it real in your mind and feel it and breathe it and see it and taste it and experience it. And and it's that chain is, the links in that chain is what's going to guide you to the end point.
If there were no limitations to your skills, what would you do?
What would I do? I would probably go mining for gemstones and do lapidary and create jewelry, or sculpt out of stones, or
there you go.
Polish.
So my suggestion to you, start playing with that.
Yeah.
So close your eyes and see how you go mining, how you are mining. For a moment, just close your eyes. Choose the mine around the world that you choose to go to. See yourself there. You have everything. There's no restrictions. So anything that you want is already there, right? The people that will start doing the mining, they guide you, whatever it is that you need to find those beautiful gems that you right now you can create, you can bring on. But as you do this, as you're seeing this happening, be aware of the thoughts that arise from experiencing it all, seeing these gems, coming out that you got, that you could see. Nobody else could see them on the midst of all these things, but you did, right? What are the experience? What are the emotions, as you're there doing it, as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing right now, right? And the thoughts that arise, and the images, feelings, body sensations. enjoy fully, but no restrictions. Just create even more, you know, and just be there and enjoy it's happening, you know, and be mindful of your mind to start saying, yeah, that I can't, or whatever, you know. That's the practice. That's the practice of expanding your comfort zone. And if you play with that, you find out that, maybe not, then go for another thing.
Yeah.
I was more thinking of changing landscapes, you know, and on Earth, you know, if you could just, you know, change what's happening right now with trees and environment and whatever other crazy thing. But it's whatever. I mean, you see, we are the ones that have the limitation and the invitation. Like in your case, you brought in my opinion, to the discussion, what you brought is well, I don't have this, I may not have this, I may not enjoy this, I don't know what it is. And the invitation really is to go big. You do have an idea, your gems and mining, and so play with that. Where's the most amazing mine? Well, in Africa or whatever else, in Asia or South, whatever, you know, see yourself there, because that's what's going to help you expand. I think what's keeping you a little small is some beliefs there that he reminds us. If we have those beliefs, we play small. The moment we start expanding, things get better. So I think that's the way I see it. Does it resonate? So that way, there to play fully. The slides, in my understanding, one of the ways you could look at it is like lenses, you know, like a lens, like a pink lens or a red lens. And then you start seeing everything red, you know, in your life, and you're not even aware that you're seeing it. So the moment we start saying, hey, I want to choose the lens, I want to see things differently, then you refocus and you dare to move along, and which is the beauty of it. But the art is not just to imagine and say, yeah, nice imagination, or seeing it there in front. No, we must play it fully to experience the joy of it. So when you're playing with it, when you're putting yourself in there, when we're putting ourselves in there in our goal, you know, fully achieved, or the step towards the goal, what's happening is that we're bringing the joy that arises from seeing it all done. And remember, we review an intention in the previous chapter that when this is working and see it all done and it's having fun, and then these emotions arise, then that creates the perfect combination, the perfect vibration that will bring that area where, remember, whatever you dare thinking, as Jim was saying, it's there. You just need to allow it to come back and manifest. And as you've got a hint so far from our reviews, the way to bring that's outer intention. The way to make that happen is by complete alignment between this fellow and this fellow. In a way, that's what we call it, or soul and mind, whatever you want to call it, right? When those two are in full alignment, they vibrate in a frequency that make that sector where that's already there come to life in a way that we don't know. That's the trick. So most of us want to say, but I don't have the skills, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, and that's what keeps us from achieving whatever it might be. Or I want this so badly, I really want to have the best gem, and I want to be the best at whatever, the most incredible, pleasurable experience. It must be incredible. That's called importance. And whenever we overdo it, then that immediately triggers, those forces, the balancing forces that make it impossible to get there. Okay? It's just fascinating the way it works. It's just the way it works. I'm fascinated because I love coaching and I love medicine. And sometimes I start playing with coaching, and it's fascinating because then I get so busy in medicine that there's no way I could coach. So there's a game of energies and importance. And just to give you an example, it's just fascinating the way we work versus ease and relaxation and stuff like that. Does it make sense? Does that help some of the elements that we've reviewed on the past 8 sessions, right? Importance, the challenge of common sense, okay? My sister my friend does this, I should do that probably. Remember, no, 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 no. It needs to be your own thing. It needs to be your way of doing it. We all have people that are heroes in our worlds, right? I want to be like that doctor. I want to be like that politician. I want to be like that artist. I want to be like that investor. I want to do what he's doing. Whenever the goal is not my goal, but it's there, or I'm copying somebody else's, it's not natural to me. It's not coming, not arising from me. And that's the invitation. What is it that I want? You know, because whenever it comes from that place connected with this type of exercises, that's what we call the magic of transurfing, right?
A nice way to tag your goals always is to say, I already have that or something even better. So that, you know that it's at least what you're thinking of. And the main reason that we talk about the granularity and the, those 4 tags, if you will, between the, the image, the thought, the body sensation, and the emotion, is that's the way our brain tags every experience we've ever had in life. And so when you go in and actually, create the visualization of your goal achieved and truly experience each of those 4 things in that way with yourself in that goal already achieved, that's what fosters the alignment then between mind and soul to make it know, because it doesn't know that you're kind of fabricating that. It experiences that as the depth of reality that you've created, and that's what aligns the vibrations and makes it all start to come into play.
So Carrie, any goals?
Yes, I wander around my apartment that's not real. I know which nightgown I'm wearing. I know what it looks like out the window. I know where my desk is. I know which furniture I'm taking from this house to put into it. And it's all there. I know approximately where it's located. And I just keep saying, as Jim, is this or something better? And I'm glad I'm doing this or something better, because I think that prevented me from selling my house when the market was lower. So when I haven't yet had an easy transition to move, it leads me to believe it wasn't the right time. So I've put some steps in motion. I've had somebody appraise what I can rent my house for. I've put my name on a wait list at another place that rents places so that I can rent mine out and move. So I'm kind of taking the steps and just trying to not get too excited about it, because that's the importance that will drive the balanced forces. And that's why I have to not get upset about the silly man next door, because that'll create too much importance again. Just right.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's kind of what I've been working on. And I wander around in my place and I kind of close my eyes, and I don't really know the layout, but I make it up. And I know which furniture I'll relocate if it fits, and just kind of have it all ready so that when it happens, it just happens.
And you're enjoying it as you see it in your
Yeah, it's so nice. I have an awesome view.
Beautiful. Now, remember, you celebrate what you have right now too.
I love my house. I wander around in it in not quite the same nightgown, because I'm saving that one. And I look out the window and it's a different nice view.
Yeah, exactly. Always
sure
honor.
Maintain it too, and treat it really lovely with respect. In fact, this home is an extension of me, and I do love and adore her. And I have so much gratitude for how safe and lovingly she's kept me and my children over the years. Like even when I live away, I connect in with her to make sure she's okay. So I do love and appreciate my home, which is part of why I don't like her being under siege. But if I can put some other beautiful people in her to experience her, because I don't need all of the space, then I can move gently to somewhere that will be more suitable for me.
Yeah, they always said, love what is it? Love what you have so you can have what you love.
Yeah.
So, beautiful. Thank you. That's beautiful. Beautiful share. Thank you. You have all those elements that mix, which is
yeah, but then I do the importance and I get annoyed, and then I have to refocus and refocus.
Beautiful. Yolanta, what's your yellow house?
Well, my goal, it's a little prosaic, but it's a very beautiful goal. So my car is very finicky. Whenever the weather turns cold, the electricity stops working. So about 3 weeks ago, it was a cold day and my very reliable car obviously delivered no electricity, which means no heat to the car. So I like my car, but I decided that I want a new car. So immediately there was like that vision in my head. You know, I think I created it, but there was some kind of help with it. So I see in my head this the beautiful white small SUV. It was very, very nice looking, and I kept looking at it and looked very, very beautiful. And inside, there was like a certain way it had the screens arranged and everything. It was a very, very, very beautiful car. So I lived with that vision for, you know, at least like for over a week, and it just stayed in my head, like it wouldn't go away. The heat was working, but the vision stayed in my head, was not going away. So last week, I decided to do something and do some kind of inner intention on it. And I knew that the car was really, that I saw was so beautiful that I realized that it had to be a luxury car. I don't drive luxury cars. And then, you know, my husband, we only drive the American cars because my father-in-law used to work for General Motors. So we only drive the General Motors car. So that last Wednesday, I called the Cadillac dealer. You know, it's a GM car. And I went there, I said, you know, I need a white car, you know, a little small SUV. So yeah, he showed me the car and I looked at it, looked very beautiful. Almost, you know, I you know, obviously in the vision you can see all the details, but it looked very congruent to what I saw. Then I went inside of the car, and the inside did not totally look like what the car looked in my vision. So, you know, the gentleman, he crunched some numbers for me. You know, he gave me the paper with the numbers, and, you know, and I went to work, and I was kind of sad because I liked the car, but that was not the car that was presented to me in my head. So I went to work, I worked, and after work, I was gonna go to grocery shopping, but I decided that I am going to call the BMW dealer because the car might have looked like it was a BMW. So I called the dealer, he said, oh, come on over, you know. So I drove to a BMW dealer. So I need a little white SUV, you know. He says, okay. So, you know, he's showing me the car that I want, and absolutely gorgeous. You know, I'm loving the car. So I go inside and I'm looking inside of this car, and it's like, no, the screen thing that it's in that beautiful luxury BMW, this is not what I wanted. It's not it. So Larry crunches the numbers, gives me a piece of paper, and I'm leaving the store. I'm like, you know, I don't think I'm gonna find this car. You know, I'm just gonna stick to what I'm driving. So I turn around, you know, once on Route 1, you know, who one knows. So I turn around going north back home. So I'm passing the Recatina, which is the Mercedes dealer. So I stop by. You know, might as well. So I go inside with the same story, you know, please, can you help me? I need a white car, small white SUV. So Barry, okay, you know, beautiful showroom. I've never been to a Mercedes dealer before. So he brings me, he shows me that nice little SUV looking absolutely stunning. So, you know, he opens the door, I go inside, you know, I sit in the car and I'm looking and I'm like, holy shit, this is the car. So, okay, I was very happy. I was very excited. Okay, I drop importance, you know. So Barry, you know, crunches the numbers for me. He gave me a piece of paper. Okay, I thank him and, you know, and I'm going home and here I have those 3 different deals. And obviously now I have to tell my husband what was I doing today. Obviously I didn't go food shopping. So, you know, so I go home and, you know, and I'm kind of, you know, I don't know, what am I gonna tell him? You know, I know the deal. We don't drive the foreign cars. So I texted Juan. I said, Juan, I'm gonna have a conversation with my husband. Would you be able to hold the space for me? So Juan sends me back a nice little red heart. So I'm okay. So my husband comes home and I'm like, well, you know, I went to the car dealers today. I would like to have a new car. And I went to Cadillac and the BMW and the Mercedes. Would you like to look at the, you know, at the papers that the guys gave me? So, you know, my husband is like, well, you know, why don't you stick with the Cadillac? So I was like, you know, I kind of, well, you know, obviously this is a big deal and, you know, I love my husband and you know, I wasn't gonna say, no, you know, do the car I love and this is it. Well, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, looking at different, you know, different things, trying to plead my case. And, you know, my husband is very non-confrontational. So he said, well, why don't you call Captain Sal? Captain Sal is our family friend who used to have a car dealership and this and that. And I said, okay, all right. So, you know, I called Captain Sal, you know, I put Captain Sal on the speaker and Captain Sal, whoa, you went to Ray Katina. Why didn't you tell me? Ray Katina, he is like my best friend. And he's like going on and on and on and on about the Mercedes and the Ray Katina. And it finishes. And my husband says, Yola, make sure you get your car from Ray Katina. So that's what I'm driving now. Juan, you haven't seen it yet.
No, I have not.
So I never even in my wildest dreams, I thought I would drive a Mercedes, you know.
A white Mercedes that you visualize.
I'm not even in the luxury car, but this was the car that was presented to me. It was presented to me. And now I'm happy. And I'm absolutely happy and absolutely adore it. And Juan, thank you very much for holding this space for me. And I still like, I can't believe that that thing transurfed so fast. So that's my take.
So it's funny because as you're talking that, I look at my, you know, the summary for the chapter.
Yes.
The last point, what does it read? It says, the slide will take you in the necessary direction. Isn't it interesting? You saw it, it told you, you felt into it, and then you started checking, you took action. You always must take action, right? Because you must have the intention to have. Yes. One thing is to imagine or dream. Remember your dreams, yeah, nice car, spacious, wide. That's a dream. But when you have the intention to have, that's when you start checking with the dealers. They talk about steps, right? Checking the numbers, checking all the stuff, and then facing the husband, right? And, you know, playing with the stuff. Those are the steps, but that's what intention to have, and it's amazing. So he guides you, and ironically enough, he really makes it happen. There is a space in the universe where your husband, who's never driven this stuff, imagines you and sees you driving whatever it is that you want. Hey, it's a great story. Thank you. The real story where all these concepts are applied, and the excitement. yet containing the importance, right? The elements of importance. That's the other thing. You could have given in for whatever other car, or we just given up, or all kind of incredible things. So thank you for bringing on an example of all these concepts down to earth.
We didn't need the chapter summary, Yolanta. You could have just told your story and it would have been perfect.
I mean, I can't believe it because, you know, it's been, well, I'm driving the car since Monday, so it's only 4 days, but it's unbelievable. You know, I still can't believe that that happened. I cannot believe that.
So we celebrate and again, this space is about, you know, enhancing, reminding us that we're leaders also, and that we have that ability to transmit this energy to others in our areas. We're all leaders in our world. Is it to our families, is it to our communities, to whatever else that we do? Okay, and just a reminder. Well, how else could we use this? Where else in that area? What goal could we have about that? What else could we share this knowledge or whatever else that we do? Make sure that others benefit and get empowered to follow the dreams, and not only the dreams, but also have the intention to have and create and make it happen, manifest with ease, right? It's a hard way to get things. We talked about it last week with the inner intention, right? Let's go and work and do it very hard. We just allow things to happen. If you get that realization. Good. Any shares, any questions as of now? Just kind of excited. You made it fun. Yes, Gary. Please.
When I first read this chapter in July, I misinterpreted slides as to be like snakes and ladders, like you'd slide from one lifeline to another. And when I reread it, I get what it is. But when I was reading it, I was just, the whole book, I was just feeling shifts and shifts. And I must have shifted to a lifeline as in 2016. In 2016, I was in London and I met this very nice young man. I went out with him 3 or 4 times, and then I came back to Vancouver. And every now and then I'd hear from him, but I really hadn't heard from him for a long time. As I was reading this chapter, shortly thereafter, he reached out and actually wanted to come and visit from London from 2016. Now, obviously with COVID and everything else, that wasn't going to happen. And I guess I either put too much importance on it or slipped into another lifeline because he's disappeared again. It was just so hilarious. It's like, oh my God, I'm on that same line I was on in 2016. And, you know, who knows whether I was supposed to stay there or not, but it was quite amusing.
Thank you. So yeah, the idea is we can use this for anything that we want, and that we have the intention to have, right? Remember, intention to have is anything we're willing to move towards and make it happen. Good. So let's see, we have about 20 minutes. So who has a goal? What's another goal that wants to achieve? Raise your hand. Anybody? Can you create a goal? Come up with another goal or a goal? Yeah, you do have a goal? Julia, have a goal?
Jacob's coming up.
Oh, Jacob's coming up. Jacob, any shares? Didn't see you, so
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. Anything that this have triggering you? Anything, any questions, any thoughts, any whatever?
Well, I've just been trying to shift back into a mindset or a vibration that's more in line with unconditional love for the people around me, as well as the world that we live in. And you know, my goals personally is just to get back in line with where I was probably about a couple years ago, where my career was on track, and just kind of getting goals accomplished. As far as how this book and the information that's presented in it has been helping me along those lines, is more or less trying, I guess, trying a little bit less and just sort of expecting it to work out, and working with the intention and the mindset that everything is already accomplished. It's just waiting for me. And so I found it quite valuable to be reading up on it, especially with the concepts of slides as well, and I'm hopeful that things will fall into place and that the people that I want to talk to will be coming into my life in the next little bit. But as far as accomplishing those goals, I mean, things seem to be coming back into alignment for me, and so hopefully that continues on through into 2021.
Thank you. So remember, feel into what is it that you want to achieve. Feel into it. See it all done. Be immersed in it already achieved. Okay? Feel it fully. That's where maybe granularity will come in. Really define it, because sometimes the goal is so diffuse that maybe the energy is going in different ways, and then you're like, what's happening? Why am I not getting? So clear your mind into what is it that you want to experience and see happening, right? Then check for where do you have too much importance. I don't know, did you review the chapter on importance?
Unfortunately not. But as far as from what I've been able to gather from the conversation that's happened today, I would probably be saying that I'm putting too much importance into the legal situation that I'm in with my ex-wife as far as the custody with my children. It seems like the more effort that I put into that situation, the more importance that I put onto it, the less results that I see. And so
in general, in terms of energy, yes. Importance is a powerful concept. I invite you to review on the previous chapters. The previous chapters have all been concepts. We've been reviewing concepts to be able to speak the language now and move along, be able to know how to implement this. That's why you're seeing some people. I mean, Yolanda has read this with us now at least 2 or 3 times on different episodes the past few years, So that's how you can manifest stuff, okay, the more you practice. But yeah, energy of attention trapped in certain situation doesn't help us. Usually importance relate to how much an evaluation of myself or a situation. How do I evaluate a situation, either about myself or so yeah, how do I feel about myself, or how do I feel about the goal that I want to achieve in this case? So if it's all about me, like how could I dream about having that thing? I'm not smart, I'm not strong, I don't have the resources, I don't have the connections, people don't want to talk to me, I'm not attractive, whatever it is, okay? All those are called inner importance. Things that take energy away from us. Or I'm too busy struggling with this situation with my whatever, right? So that's one thing, that's inner importance. The other is called outer importance, which is the goal is too big. There's too many players. Politics are involved. I have no power with this. So those are things that take away your power to manifest. So the moment you just able to be there with your goal fully achieved, where there's no hints of, oh, I can, oh, this is too much, this is too little, I can do it, how could I dream about this stuff? The moment you can diffuse all that, that's the important. Then a magical thing happens, the vibration, the frequency. You have to review what we review, but in a simple way, when the vibration of the brain and the heart or soul are aligned in that setting of that goal, that immediately, brings that sector where your goal, is, and brings it up into reality. And that's the magic of transurfing. It's not that you work hard towards it, because that's another way to achieve it. Contacting everybody, making phone calls. And the other one is just from that aspect of, from that place of knowing it, then you take action, with a difference. So one concept that we review with Satyan a lot is from mule to magician. The mule is working, carrying the load and doing what it needs to do all the time, and no question, no food and nothing, right? The other one is the magician, the one that somehow says, boom, white car, white beautiful SUV car, or whatever it is, So thank you. So I hope these concepts help you dive into it, and I hope you can use this next few weeks to catch up with some of the reading. And if you have any questions, of course, just bring them on, ask them, post the questions on the page. Be happy to help with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else has any other shares? Oh, we have 15 minutes. Yeah, any other shares? So I was asking, A quick process. Maybe we could do a quick process, something to reinforce this. A goal. What's a goal? Who can think of a goal then if you have a goal? Let me see your hands up, since I only have 4 or 5. Okay, good. Whole goal. Everybody has a goal? Good.
Yeah.
Now, can you think of a block towards that goal? Yep. How about yes, Mary? Something that keeps you from achieving the goal? Something that's on the way? I got you. Carrie, and I hope you guys that are not on video have that. Jolanta, can you think of a goal? That's something that's on the way for you to achieve your goal? You don't need to tell me what it is, just know what it is.
No, no blocks, but it's a, it's
So what I'm
I-
saying, it could be a thought, a belief that how could I, or it's too much or whatever. It's a thought.
yeah, kind of like, yeah.
Or it could be what we call real life. Come on, I'm not
Yeah.
whatever, Or
Yeah, it is more like, how could I? Yeah, I don't
There you
think
go.
you do that.
That is a belief that is on the way for you to achieve that, to allow it to come. That is a very powerful reason not to, for something not to manifest. Okay, whatever it is. Usually, thoughts, beliefs are the most powerful blocks in that sense. Using the blocks, use whatever other word that knows that it prevents something from happening. Do we all have something like that? So we have some type of goal, something we want to achieve, and something like a belief or a thought or something like that on the way. We have it? Good. So we're going to do this. It's a simple process. It's called the 10 finger. It's really, really cool and simple. Okay. So we're going to be using the fingers of each hand and just follow what I tell you to do. Okay. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath, ground yourself. I'll have to keep this quick. So in your mind, I want you to repeat this. It is possible to fail, meaning not to achieve my goal because, and then just repeat that thought, belief, or whatever that you have in your mind. And I want you to experience it fully, to believe, see that thought, see that belief, experience. How could I? Well, whatever it is, experience it fully. And by the way, just point the little pinky finger of your left hand when you do that. When I use that as a reference. If you experience that, it is possible to fail because of that belief. Just raise your right hand so I know you're following me. Thank you. Thank you. Keep your eyes closed. Thank you. Just right hand. Perfect. Thank you. Excellent. So now relax that. Now, pinky of right hand. You can relax the pinky of the left hand. And now, in your mind, repeat this. Although this, just repeat the thought, is there, I still want my goal. So experience that. Even though this thought, well, how could I, whatever, it's there, whatever. I still want my goal and connect with that fully. And just raise the other hand so I know you're there experiencing that. So I know you're following me. Perfect. Thank you. Very good. So now we're going to use the ring finger of the left hand. And we're going back. It is possible to fail because of your belief, your thought, your block. Feel that. Feel how it's possible to fail. It's possible not to agree the goal because of that goal. See how you feel. See what you see. Be aware of your body, sensations and stuff. Now, ring finger, right hand. Although this belief has been there, is there, I still want my goal and connect with that fully. See how your body feels, your emotions, you still want your goal, even though this belief or thought or reality, or what appears to be a reality is there. And really play fully. Yeah, it's there, but I still want my goal. Beautiful. Third finger or middle finger of the left hand. Take a deep breath, let all this stuff go. Middle finger, left hand. It is possible to fail because, and just repeat your block, your whatever you chose as a block to your goal. It is possible to fail because of this. And see, yeah, well, experience it fully, let it roll. Don't hold anything. Yeah, it is possible to fail. And of course, explain it, see it, know it. You could fail because of that. Whatever you haven't touched upon, yeah, that, of course. Good. Now, middle finger, right hand. Although this belief, thought, whatever block, repeat it, whatever it is there, I still want my goal. Yeah, even though that block has been there, I still want my goal. Experience it fully and let it be. Say it, feel it, know it, see it. Great. Take a deep breath. Let all that go. Pointer finger of the left hand. It's possible to fail because of, and repeat that thought, block, belief. It is possible to fail because of that. And see it, yeah, of course, it's possible to fail when achieving my goal because of this. But experience it fully. Don't just say it. Feel how your body feels. See what it is. Even reason about it. Let it be intense about it. Yeah, it is possible to fail. Now let all that go. Pointer finger of the right hand. Although this thought, belief, block is there, I still want my goal. And play it fully. I still want it. See it done, whatever arises, and let it arise. Whatever arises, experience it fully. You guys are doing great, I can see. Play fully. Take a deep breath in. Let all that go. Now, thumb left hand. It's possible to fail because of that goal that you've been, of that block that you, that belief, that thought, whatever it is. And let it be there. It's possible to fail because of it. Now, let all that go. Thumb right hand. Although this block has been there, I still want my goal. And say it, although it's it, I still want my goal. Now take a deep breath in. Let all that go. And ask yourself the question now. What are you more aware? You know, what could you conclude about the possibilities for the achievement of your goal now? Usually it's something about how you could eliminate or resolve that barrier that you had. You can open your eyes and tell me, how was this experience for you? Good? Any quick shares? Any insights from this? Julia? Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. My goal was about like having a bigger impact on my communities and having like the perfect clients. And so yeah, the insight is, oh yeah, I don't have to do the work for them. And also the thing that I'm seeing as a block can coexist with the goal.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's great. It's a great simple process to evaluate whatever it is that could be a block. And then even though that idea has been there, I still want my goal. Simple, right? But you have to experience it and feel it fully. Okay? That's a way. We talk about beliefs, importance, anything else ideas, whatever arises there on your way to your goal, play it with this process. Very good. I'll talking about impact in the community. Who's done the dojo work? Who's done any of the dojo, any of the activation processes? We talk about the activations, and I'm wondering if anybody has anybody downloaded the material for the dojo? No. Let me show you. Let me show you how this works. It's really, really interesting. I'll be very brief, guys. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. If you go to the maybe I can play this. If you go to the warriorstage.com, you'll see all these links. That's, Arise Together is the mission, right? To get all together to that area. How? By, creating local communities of people that, work together, create, learn, cultivate themselves, whatever it is that you want to do in your area. Well, one of the ways is through activations. Okay. And what are those? Are essentially one-day events where you dive fully into 3 topics in particular. One is abundance, the other one is relationships, and the next one is power. Here comes the cool thing. When this is at the bottom of that warriorstage.com, you see how simple it is, warriorstage.com. You go to the bottom, you see the one-day activation events. And this is like having Satyan come in and to your community, to your group of people, whoever you invite, to teach. It's really incredible. I'll show you. When you click in there, then essentially you will get an email that brings all these different files, incredible, interesting information there. And I'll show you what that is. It gives you a little pamphlet. It gives you, or as many as you want. It gives you the flyers with information, or an email. You could send this an email saying, on this day, I'm going to hold an activation on relationships. We'll work on relationship. Who wants to enhance the relationship with their friends, partners, business, mates, whatever it is. And look at this. It tells you how to set up a dojo, the checklist, the things to know, even a schedule of how this could work. Every detail is already taken care of. If this right now with COVID, all you have to do is invite people and present it the way I'm presenting it, and you'll see what I mean by that. It tells you all this, like this is the relationship activation dojo. Look at these materials, 21 guidelines for relating, okay? The diet, integrity diets, it's explained, it's amazing. It's all there. The contact reel, important things to talk about, okay? And at the end of the last file that you get is this little 3 things with a link. In the case of relationships, you just click on it and look at what happens. It's just amazing.
Are you sharing your screen, Juan? Because I don't think we're seeing what you're describing. At least I'm not.
Oh, what are you seeing?
I just see all the wonderful faces.
But I am I'm signing up.
So you mean I have to share my screen? I thought I had shared it. You think, that's the
You're all doing a beautiful visualization.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's drop all importance. Here I am all excited showing you this. Oh, man. Okay, good. Let me show you. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
I apologize. Rewind. warriorstage.com. You see this little few things on Arise Together. I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just saying go all the way down to the bottom. Here, one-day events. You click on any of these links, either for abundance, relationships, or power, and you get you sign for it, of course, and you get an email in minutes with all this information there for you to download. They're all PDFs, and the bottom line has some links. The bottom one has some links. I was showing the flyers, all beautifully designed and ready. You just have to label it or email it to the people. These are the details of how to set up I just copy paste some of those documents to make it easier for you to know. Nothing, you don't have to do anything. These are all for all purposes. You don't even need to print them nowadays. You just email them to the people so they have them with them. And how to set up the audio if it was at home. Right now it's all online with lots of beautiful information on how to hold diets and topics about it. Very powerful information on how to do that. And this is the part where I got all excited, where I said, if you click on the link that you get on that document, it brings you into this place. Look at this full event recording. And it tells you here, it's 56, actually it's a lot more. It's a whole bunch of hours, 6 hours, 7 hours of a whole event where if you don't even want to open your mouth and say, oh, I'm inviting you to this because you're afraid, all you have to do is click play.
You're just undercultivated.
Oh, sorry. This is the beginning. The very beginning. And all the different aspects. And you tell you guideline for relating.
It's yourself. Grow that capacity that you're under.
An integrity diet.
So I just, if we can just demonstrate with Satin. So I just want to show one.
You see all these amazing things? All there. You just click and enjoy with your people. Like right now, literally, this is what you could do. Invite people to a whole day event. It's just actually, you saw it 7 hours. It has the breaks embedded in there. So if you say now it's somewhere here is lunch break, here, there's a lunch break for an hour. Okay, that's what it is. You just let it roll all day, and then it says, okay, in an hour, we'll be back. This will continue, and the event rolls. Isn't that exciting? Anyway, just want to give you an idea of how amazing this is, how simple it is, and all you have to do is invite. Well, first wanting to do it and be part of it, okay, and then play, and then enhance your awareness of relationships, power, and abundance, all guided by Sachin. How is that? Do you know it was that simple? It's amazing. So I really wanted you to get the idea. I probably will be presenting it so people know how simple it is to run events and be leaders in your communities. Because remember, that's what the idea is here. Yep. Yeah, power, abundance. Anyway, there's so much more I could keep talking about it. So this is exciting to share with you. And Teresa.
We're all powering down to do the activation together on the 3rd Saturday, which is the 19th of this month. So as close to that date as your group would like to meet. And we'd love you to share it here. Tell us how it went for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We're happy to help along the way. We're meeting again the next time because Thanksgiving, US Thanksgiving lands on our next meeting time. So we're going to give some extra time for everyone to catch up, on the different aspects of the book through all the chapters. And you can go into the reviews onto the YouTube page to do that if you have missed any. But we will meet here again December the 10th, Thursday, December the 10th. So I look forward to that. And hopefully that gives you lots of time. I know that there's some people that have some things to catch up on. So it would be great to have us all meet here and go deeper then.
And also the next chapter will be chapter 9, the heart and mind. We're really going to dive into what the heck they mean by mind and heart. But it's, as you've known already, most of you know, is the core, it's the essence of Transurfing. That's the key. When those two are aligned, magic happens. Okay, so that'll be really, really good. And in the meantime, catch up with the readings, as Teresa was saying, and share your wins, insights or learnings. If there's anything exciting that you learned, that you're applying, that you're practicing, post it on the website so others benefit from this. Okay, remember, this is about creating community, and we're all masters of play. The last thing we want to do is come and teach whatever. It's, you can all read, but it's really this conversation where we all learn from others, and that makes a difference.
Yes.
Yes, Julia.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was just checking. There's a chance I might miss December 10th because my husband's birthday is the day afterward. But then I was like, oh, well, when would we be meeting after that? Because 2 weeks after that is December 24th. So are we intending to go beyond then?
January something, yeah. Whatever the second Tuesday in January will be, we're gonna have another big break.
All right, great. January.
But remember, the recordings are there. This will be posted in a few days. So the Decembers that you missed, if you want to watch it, will be there. We'll send a little Julia when you're watching this recording.
Amazing. And I might be there anyway. Thank you.
Hopefully.
Well,
yeah, and you can post questions on the Facebook page, and we're always happy. Or just PM any of us if you need to chat or there's stuff going on. We'd love to connect and help.
Good, beautiful.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.